everybody, it is Kevin Gray with SmallCapVoice, and I am joined with our CEO, our fearless CEO, Stuart Smith. He is the owner and, of course, CEO, as I mentioned, of SmallCapVoice here. Wanted to do our watch list a little bit differently this time and actually have more of a conversation. Normally, it's me just kind of shouting at you and graphics flying in all over the place. I actually wanted to chat about some of these companies a little bit more in depth this time. I grabbed two off of our community list here. Stuart, I think you grabbed two as well, right?
I did, yeah.
Oh, perfect. So that's what we'll do. I'll go through my two from the community list here. Again, if you want to add your stocks to our watch list or potentially add them to our watch list here, head into the description down below, or well, actually they just updated YouTube. Head over into the description over on that side, right? That side? Yeah. And so if you head into the description, you should see a link there to head to our Google Forms where you can submit your own stocks to be part of this watch list if they meet our criteria. So diving into the first one here, it is ticker symbol AGRI. AgriFORCE Growing Systems Limited. Now, this company is really unique because we do cover a lot of cannabis on this channel, but this one is a little bit different. It's growing systems still, so you may be familiar with it, but instead of it being about cannabis, it's actually about regular produce, regular gardening and agriculture and things like that. But what really caught my eye on this one, again, this is a community submission, so we have to just look at what's publicly filed. We don't have any direct access with this company yet. When we looked at their ticker symbol and we went to their news feed here, we saw this shareholder letter that was issued back here on June 20th. And according to the shareholder letter, you got to scroll down a little bit into it. Let me put it up on the screen here. They've reduced their debt by approximately 31%, but more importantly, they just approved a buyback program of over $1 million in shares. Now, I know that's kind of rare to see in this kind of penny space, but I don't know. Stuart, what's your 2 cents on that one?
I love it. It's a big management 101 move. I do know this space. Actually, we had a company way back when, we called it the second green wave. The first green wave was your solar, your wind energy. And then the second green wave, well, it was your marijuana stock. So all the way back in 2012, we had TerraTech, no longer a public company. TRTC had a wonderful run with them. But they had this, what they called micro generation growing company, Edible Gardens. And that was a big thing from around 2012 to about 2022. And it's actually still out there where you have these New York gardens on these balconies and they're using growing systems like this. But back to the shareholder letter that you're talking about, big move, right? I mean, as you just hit the nail on the head, why or how often do we see and why are they even able to do this to repurchase $1 million worth of stock out there? Huge commitment to the company, huge validation to the shareholders that are there, showing that they're going shoulder to shoulder with their shareholders. So I love it.
Yeah, me too. And I mean, we're talking about a company here, $1 million buyback, market cap of only 4.9 million. And so we are talking about one of the smallest small caps that we have covered on this channel so far, making big moves just like this. Kind of like what I'm seeing on this other community submission here, and that's ticker symbol IDKFF. And that's 3D Capital Inc. Now, this one's kind of a unique one because this is a holding company that's got their fingers in a lot of different sectors here. And it says on their website something that I say to our clients over here at SmallCapVoice. They are industry agnostic. They will go into whatever they need to in order to kind of incentivize it and fuel it forward to make some money there. And I love a company that approaches it like this. My personal favorite thing, as I was doing some due diligence on this company, community submission again, so we did our research, I found their YouTube presence. And it was really exciting to see a company that's actually looking at YouTube the way that we look at YouTube to get content and information out to shareholders. If you haven't checked out their YouTube, check it out. They're having a lot of fun over there, but the discussions that they're having about all these different sectors, fantastic. And just the other day, they launched a private placement offering. Personally, and this is just my 2 cents, and I'll turn it to you, Stuart, to see your opinions on this one here. I am a fan of the private placement style of offering as opposed to other forms of funding. To me, a private placement, it allows people to get in at sometimes a much sweeter deal than what you would get at the open market. It fuels the company a lot further. There's a lot more incentives. There's even sometimes some tax breaks from my experience in the past. And so I think that this is a great move on 3D Capital's part. What do you say?
Well, I think for one thing, when I go down to the contact information and I see that their CFO is the contact, he is the CPA that's running the show here. I say it that way with all due respect to the CEO, since I was a CFO and an accountant. And so I think they've got the right guy here as the contact. Hopefully I get to reach out to Matthew Davis myself. Again, I agree with you, Kevin. This is a fun company, and it is different than anything else we've ever covered. We've covered a lot of holding companies, don't get me wrong, but this one, I don't even know that I would call it a holding company.
Mhm.
This is a company that makes diversified investments, and I think they operate a little bit differently than that. And it's one that you're putting on my radar for the first time, so I'm not going to just sit here and spitball about it. I can't wait to take a deeper dive into them. I'm kind of excited about where they're sitting here. Price point wise, I mean, volume wise, that's a little scary. It's thinly traded. It's going to be something that we need to take a look at. Everybody needs to take a look at. Do your due diligence. But as I'm looking at these headlines and I'm looking at what they're up to, it's going to be a fun one to dive deeper into. And that's what we do with this watch list, right? We want to put it out there. We want people to understand that, hey, these aren't home runs yet. These are diamonds in the rough. Some of them are home runs, as we're going to touch on here in just a moment.
Yeah, very good point. And I think I saw it on Reddit. One of our shareholders on one of our clients, they were commenting. They said, you know what, 5 to 10% every single day is fun, but I'm sitting here for 300% over 5 years. And that's when you got to look at some of these gems, the undiscovered ones. But you have two on your radar. What do you got going on over there?
So they are submissions, but one of them is a client, and the other one is going to be joining us on our video interview podcast series, the Online Business Briefing. And I want to talk first about KULR because I love the quick video you did. 18 seconds is all it took you, Kevin, to wrap up the summation on the July 8th press release. And I love what you talked about, and it's what shareholders want to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Show me the money, tell me about the revenue. But that's not really what's important here. The bean counter and me really wants you to dig deeper into these press releases with a leading position in safe battery design and testing, and as a significant player in the global electrification movement. Now that sounds like word candy, but it's not. KULR is among the few companies to meet the stringent requirements and rigorous testing standards of NASA. We've already outlined all the big companies, and I'll be honest with you, I want to touch on another press release that came out all the way back in April with the company, and that was the one with Bombardier Recreational Products. That may have been, I think it was April. I don't know. I'll have to go back and look. I just threw my pen. I'm going crazy over here. Here's the other thing that's important. According to Straits Research, the global battery testing market is anticipated to grow at a CAGR of 4%. Big deal. But what's that number going to be? $7 billion by 2030. Again, people are missing, I think, the whole KULR story. And it's easy to do because the company, while they've not pivoted, while they have not done any kind of paradigm shift, they have evolved in this space from saying, hey, we're going to vertically integrate and we're going to make our own batteries and we're going to make them better than everybody else. And they're still going to do that. But this battery safety testing market is huge. Let's talk about Bombardier Recreational. That's a different type of testing, the fractional thermal runaway kilometry testing service. That's with the NASDAQ company. We know by gathering the crumbs and following the crumbs that we led people onto, they're working with some major manufacturers of electric vehicles, a space that's taken a hit recently, but we know it's here to stay. We're not going to be going back to, it's all about electrification. So KULR also is in the drone market. And that drone market, that press release, I think that's the one I was thinking of. That came out April 23rd. KULR delivers immediate power cell battery deployment order for AI-enabled drone missions in Ukraine. Do you know what else is not going anywhere next to electric vehicles? Drones in the military. It is the future of the fighting, and it's going to save a lot of lives on, well, whichever side. Okay, I'm not going to get into the political side of it, although go USA and God bless America and happy 4th of July. I'll leave it at that. Here's a nugget on this company, and this company is Unusual Machines Incorporated. First off, love the name. I don't know why, just love it. Unusual Machines, that is UMAC on the NYSE. They have on, let's see, June 21st. Here's the guest. Our guest is going to be coming on, Alan Evans, the CEO. We are excited to kickstart our enterprise business and domestic production while working with people we know very well at Red Cat. Listen to the rest of this quote. Their team is committed to providing the warfighter with the best set of solutions possible, and we are committed to providing them with robust, high-quality, low-cost supply chain that is proudly made here. in the US of A. Can't wait to learn more about this company.
Can we
They've
pause
got
for a second and say that, did you say that the brand name on that is War Fighter? The War Fighter is the name of their drone series?
well, Kevin, are you usurping me? Are you taking some of my flow
I
away
am
here?
loving this. I didn't mean to take your flow, but I'm
No, it's
sitting there and
okay.
I'm just like,
Dude,
this
the
is an
whole thing. I
incredible
mean, think
company.
about it.
I've barely
Red
done any
Fang.
research on this.
Yeah, no, there's other great names in here. Look at the Red Fang. I love that part.
Oh,
I mean,
what?
yeah, exactly. Here we go. Okay, Red Cat's Fang line of first person view strike systems. It feels like we just stepped into a Marvel movie on this type of thing right here. I mean, it's amazing what can be done here. I mean, we start off with drones with cameras, and then we've seen the military applications of them. It's far reaching. Again, I do think from a humanitarian standpoint, this is a cleaner way to wage war than carpet bombing villages. And that's probably the best way I can put that is, look, war's hell. We already have all learned that. But again, if you can make surgical strikes and leave civilians out of it, that's what we want to see. And I love this company's news flow. I love the way they write. I think it's going to be a fun company. Reminds me sort of AITX. And I hate to bring in yet another ticker, but Steve was a fan. I mean, we were a fan of his coming on the show. He is a social media darling. AITX. We'll drop that one back. Maybe we can bring him onto the next watch list. That's what I've got for you today, Kevin.
Excellent. And you know what? We'll say a little bonus about AITX, because I don't know if you saw it today. We'll say that they're the bonus on the watch list for this month. They just dropped a press release 7 hours ago here. AITX's RAD continues its penetration into car dealerships with an RIO order. And so definitely check that one out. Yep. Their Rio trademark system, the 360 solar powered security tower, to be deployed at a Miami, Florida-based car dealership. So yeah, let's definitely reach out to Steve, see if he can come and talk about what's going on there with the Rio.
Yeah, and that reminds me of Steve's hero, who we've had on here, which is Knightscope in all the shopping malls, the warehouses, the used car lots. So great stuff. I mean, I love it. Knightscope, we're talking about all of them. Bill Santana, we're talking about Steve here at AITX, two really cool CEOs that we've had on here. So I look forward to doing this next one with you too, Kevin. You heard that. I just invited myself. And as you pointed out, I think 7 or 8 times in the intro, I am the CEO, so I get to do that.
Yeah, we want to get you more FaceTime on this channel, not just doing the interviews. So I agree on that one.
FaceTime, forehead time. I'll take whatever I can get.
There you go. All right. So just to recap, lots of sustainability on the watch list this month. We have AGRI, we have IDKFF, we got KULR, we have UMAC, and a bonus we tossed in at the end there for AITX. And you know what? Let's toss KSCP on there too. Throw Knightscope on there. We got those 6 companies we talked about today. I am Kevin Gray. This is Stuart Smith. And of course, this channel is SmallCapVoice. Send us your comments below. Add your own tickers to the watch list description link there below. And of course, hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with all the latest small and micro cap news. For Stuart, this is Kevin. Have a great day.